Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into the clock and the compass, and honestly, we're going to look at how to finally escape the efficiency trap. We're unpacking a really fascinating set of source materials to tackle what's probably one of the most exhausting problems of modern life, right? That burnout trap of being incredibly busy, yet feeling like you are absolutely not moving forward. If you've ever felt like your to-do list is running your life instead of the other way around, well, you are in exactly the right place.
I want you to really think about that visceral, almost physical pain of what the sources call the efficient hamster trap. You know this feeling perfectly. You spend a whole day in just an absolute blur of motion, aggressively checking a dozen items off your list, answering emails, maybe finally organizing that desk drawer, and sure, you get that quick dopamine hit. But then, in the quiet of the night, the realization hits you. You've achieved velocity, but you completely lacked intent. You're moving incredibly fast, but you're effectively going nowhere.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The source material defines this exact state as frenetic stagnation. So why does this happen? Well, it turns out our basic everyday to-do lists are actually making the hamster wheel spin faster. A flat to-do list is basically a recipe for drift, right? Because it treats a task like buy milk and a massive task like define career vision with the exact same visual weight. So you become highly efficient, yes, but often at things that simply do not matter.
To escape this crazy cycle, our source materials synthesize the frameworks of two absolute titans of time management. First up, we've got Alan Lakein. He's this mid-century master of tactical machinery. He represents the clock, giving you the really granular, practical tools you need to control the present minute. On the flip side, we have Stephen Covey, the architect of strategic meaning. He represents the compass. This is the principle-centered philosophy that dictates what is actually worth your time in the first place, based on your core life roles.
Let's look at Lakein first. His system is highly pragmatic. It's totally action-oriented. You've probably heard his famous mantra, failing to plan is planning to fail. Lakein is all about gaining absolute, total control of your daily schedule. He teaches you exactly how to break down goals, crush procrastination, and ruthlessly prioritize your tasks using an ABC ranking system. The whole goal is to ensure you're highly effective on a minute-by-minute basis.
But then we contrast Lakein with Stephen Covey. And Covey actually pushes back on this idea of efficiency as the ultimate goal. His famous mantra completely flips the script. He says the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. See, Covey focuses on living out your deep values, identifying your core roles like, being a parent, a creator, a professional, and heavily focusing on activities that are highly important even if they aren't urgently screaming for your attention.
And here is where the source materials reveal a massive aha moment. When you fuse Lakein's mechanical execution with Covey's strategic direction, you create a single, life-changing personal operating system. The sources call this directed efficiency. Think about it. Lakein without Covey makes you an efficient hamster, but Covey without Lakein, that just leaves you with a beautiful mission statement and a totally empty calendar. Put them together, and you are finally doing the right things right.
So the big question is, how do we actually merge these two systems, practically speaking? How do we take Covey's famous time management matrix, which sorts tasks by urgency and importance, and combine it with Lakein's granular ABC prioritization? Like, how do we take this high-level philosophy and actually use it at 9 a.m. on a chaotic Tuesday?
Well, by mapping these systems together, we get this really fascinating integration. We use Covey's quadrants to filter what even belongs on our list, and then we use Lakein's ABC method within that filtered set. Think specifically about Quadrant 1. Those are the tasks that are important but not urgent, right? Things like relationship building or strategic planning. To make this whole system work, we absolutely must rigorously label these Quadrant 2 activities as Lakein's A tasks. We schedule them and we fiercely protect them, basically preventing mere urgency from dictating our top priorities.
In the modern workplace, frankly, labeling a non-urgent Quadrant 2 activity as an A priority is practically a subversive act. It really is a rebellion against this urgency-obsessed culture we live in. But the sources highlight a profound truth here. If you protect your A-level Quadrant 2 activities today, like say exercising or maintaining a key relationship, you actually prevent them from becoming A-level Quadrant I emergencies tomorrow, like a massive health crisis or a broken relationship. You're literally turning time management into preventive life management.
And this brilliantly illustrates what the sources outline as a hierarchy of execution. To structure this preventive management, you start right at the top by defining your purpose and roles. Then, you filter those through your quadrants and smoothly transition into Lakein's domain, applying those ABC rankings straight onto your calendar And finally, identifying your daily A1 action. This hierarchy ensures that the single task you're working on right now is the logical, non-negotiable conclusion of your life's overarching purpose.
To actually execute this day-to-day, we need a specific toolkit. Let's introduce the first half, Covey's Big Rocks. The concept is simple but powerful. You must schedule your major, important weekly goals first, before all the sand and gravel of daily interruptions completely fill up your time. It's a brilliant concept for sure, but the sources point out a major flaw in human psychology here. Big rocks often fail because they are monolithic. They're heavy, they lack an easy point of entry, and so they cause us to procrastinate on the very things that are most important to us, usually by, organizing our sock drawer instead.
And that is exactly where the second half of our toolkit comes in. Enter Lakein's Swiss cheese method. When a task feels totally overwhelming, Lakein says you need to poke holes in it by taking trivially easy 5-minute microactions. You don't need a massive, uninterrupted block of time to start. You just need a tiny slice. This is honestly the perfect tactical tool to overcome the sheer psychological intimidation of Covey's massive life goals.
When you bring this into a unified strategy, it is so powerful. If Covey's Big Rock is a massive, heavy block of granite, Lakein's Swiss cheese method is the drill bit. For example, if your big rock is to write a book, the prospect of writing an entire chapter in one sitting might completely paralyze you. But if you use the drill bit, your micro-action is simply to draft a one-page outline. You completely bypass that psychological paralysis by making it ridiculously easy to start on what matters most.
Which brings us to Lakein's most famous signature diagnostic question: what is the best use of my time right now? It's a fantastic trigger for action, right? But as the sources reveal, if you ask this question without Covey's compass, your brain is almost always going to default to the loudest, most urgent email in your inbox. Even if it's just, a 20% off coupon for office supplies. To answer this question correctly, you absolutely need Covey's inner yes. That principle-centered commitment to your long-term roles. That acts as a shield against those urgent trivialities.
So, how do we balance the deep reflection of Covey with the fast-paced execution of Lakein? Well, the sources describe this beautiful balance as a rhythmic shift. Covey basically dominates your weekend. This is your time for weekly strategy, calibrating your compass, and scheduling those big rocks. But once Monday morning hits, Lakein takes over. Your workday is for daily triage, managing the clock, and executing your ABC lists. The weekly plan provides the guardrails, the daily list provides the momentum.
It all comes down to one really hard-hitting realization from the text. The shift from urgency addiction to importance-based living is the only upgrade that counts. Let that sink in. When you finally stop the frantic, reactive race against the clock and instead align your daily actions with a deeper compass, you stop merely managing your time. You actually begin to act as the architect of your own legacy.
I want to leave you with this provocative thought to carry with you today. Take a close look at your tasks for the week and really ask yourself, is your current to-do list building a life you actually value, or are you simply becoming more efficient at things that don't matter? You have the tools now, the clock and the compass. It's time to redesign your system, ditch the hamster wheel, and start executing with true directed purpose. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I highly, highly encourage you to dive deeper into these fantastic source materials. You won't regret it.